Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so today we're diving straight into the small brief. This is a seriously fascinating new announcement from Google, and it sets up this incredible David versus Goliath story in the advertising world. For the longest time, there's been this massive, just seemingly unbridgeable gap between the marketing power of global corporations and those local businesses that, well, actually make our community special. I mean, we're talking about the stark difference between multi-million-dollar global ad budgets and the absolute shoestring do-it-yourself budgets of the mom-and-pop shop down the street. But this newly announced initiative, it fundamentally challenges how we think about high-end advertising by trying to bridge that massive gap in a totally unique way. So what actually happens when creative legends use AI to make ads for small businesses? That exact question is the premise of the whole thought experiment we're unpacking today. Normally, we associate ad industry legends with massive teams, endless resources, global campaigns, the whole shebang. And on the flip side, we associate small business advertising with late nights, sheer willpower, and frankly, whatever tools happen to be free online. So what actually happens when you smash those two worlds together, using enterprise-level AI as the great equalizer? Well, the ambition behind this is what really stands out to me. The goal here isn't just to, make a quick, passable internet ad to just throw up on social media. No, they're aiming for breakthrough studio-quality campaigns. That level of production was previously locked strictly behind million-dollar corporate gates. The text explicitly notes that the mission is twofold. First, to elevate these incredible local businesses, and second, to highlight the storytelling power of AI. They want to inspire other creatives and small business owners to explore it for themselves. It's really about proving a concept on a grand, highly visible scale. To really understand the stakes, we need to look at what this small brief actually is. Launched just today in May 2026, this initiative is designed to completely level the playing field for resource-strapped businesses. It brings together three absolute heavyweights of the advertising industry. But, and here's the kicker, instead of pitching to Fortune 500 companies in fancy glass boardrooms, they're stepping entirely out of the corporate world to give back to the local businesses they personally love. And they're doing it all through the lens of artificial intelligence. Now, to pull this off, Google gave these creatives the ultimate slingshot. We're talking unlimited access to their AI creative studio known as Flow. Flow is literally the engine room here. By giving these legendary creatives unrestricted access to this specific suite of AI tools, Google is effectively testing the absolute limits of what their technology can do when placed in the hands of master storytellers. It's the mechanism that takes their high-level, brilliant ideas and translates them into those stunning, studio-quality brand stories. But as we know, tech is really nothing without the people behind it. So that brings us to the matchups, icons meeting local shops. Because an AI tool is obviously only as good as the human beings wielding it, right? And, of course, the businesses it's ultimately designed to serve. Google has officially announced the specific pairings for this initiative, and let me tell you, it sets up a really dynamic and beautiful contrast. Treating this almost like an exciting sports draft, the lineups are just awesome. We've got a massive industry heavyweight like Gianta Jenkins partnering up with a local gem called Archangels. Then we have Tiffany Rolfe taking on the creative brief for South Ferry, and Susan Credle bringing her legendary mind to elevate Stonewood Farm. You have these visionary creative minds stepping entirely into the shoes of everyday small business owners. It takes this often high-tech, abstract AI conversation and grounds it into something deeply human, tangible, and totally community-focused. Now you might be wondering, how does Flow actually translate into a studio quality advantage for a small team? It's one thing to confidently claim that AI makes things better, right? But how exactly do Google's AI tools deliver what they call big brand impact? Well, let's break down the 4 core benefits Google actually expects to deliver through this initiative. The whole initiative essentially rests on 4 key pillars. It's about giving these smaller businesses the ability to create studio-quality ads, helping them maintain their unique voice and style, finding their next customers, and, crucially, streamlining messy workflows. According to the source, these are the precise ways AI empowers smaller shops to vastly scale their output without, losing their soul in the process. Let's zoom in on those first 2 points, because the real magic here is achieving high-end production value without sacrificing that local soul. I mean, one of the biggest fears with AI is that it's just going to make everything look and sound exactly the same, right? That it will entirely homogenize creativity. But the stated goal of this project is the exact opposite. The AI is there to empower places like Stonewood Farm to create at a studio level, but strictly with their unique local charm. The technology is adapting to the business, not forcing the business to adapt to some rigid algorithm. And from a purely operational standpoint, AI takes the heavy lifting out of customer acquisition and those messy workflows. Listen, if you've ever run a small business or even just been part of one, you know the pure exhaustion of wearing every single hat. Time is literally your most precious resource. You simply don't have a dedicated marketing department or some massive media buying team to figure this stuff out for you. By using AI to streamline how creative assets are built and deployed to actually find the next customer, it frees up the business owners to do what they actually love, running their shops and serving their communities. So what's the timeline here? Well, today is really just the starting gun. Right now, in May 2026, these creative legends are literally in the lab with Flow, actively collaborating with their local shops to build these brand stories. But the real anticipation is building for next month. In June 2026, the curtain will be pulled back to officially reveal the final campaigns. And more importantly, Google promises to share a deeper look into the exact creative process, giving us the actual blueprints of how Flow was utilized to achieve this incredible scale. As we eagerly wait for those final campaign reveals in June, I want to leave you with this. How could you apply these exact same AI storytelling tools to elevate your own incredible business? We've seen how enterprise-level AI is being handed to creative legends to help local shops like South Ferry and Archangels, but the ultimate goal of the small brief is to inspire you. Think about your own projects, your own late-night workflows, and your own wildly unique voice. If you had an AI creative studio at your fingertips to completely level the playing field, what big brand impact would you create? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.